everyone. I'm Niharika Kolangi. I'm part of Administration Development of Haldari Technologies Private Limited. This evening, we will start our KV Dialogue 11 by welcoming our moderators, panelists, and all our participants. KV Dialogue is conducted by Haldari Technologies Private Limited and is founded by Sri Lakshman Kanikanti. Let's take this opportunity to introduce our moderator, Dr. AT Kishore Garu. During the past 10 dialogues connected to us, and he connected many industry leaders and scholars in various domains to speak on agriculture related topics, including various innovations like IoT, UAV, UGV, and Space ISRO. Today, our panelists Sri Chaitanya Reddy and Sri Yogesh Ravichandam. I'm just giving small introduction about both of them. Sri Chaitanya Reddy has been dedicated mobile application developer for past 5 years with various portfolio spanning various verticals. With his passion for climate tech and sustainable agriculture practices, and he joined Lokaa Foundation as a sustainable field volunteer, where they work closely with world villages to integrate technology with agriculture and educate children on the circular economy and spearhead kitchen garden initiatives to promote sustainable livings. And our other speaker, Sri Yogesh Ravichandra, from Loka Foundation, hailing from the State University of New York, Buffalo's Master of Architecture program with a specialization in technology. Yogesh has designed various projects from cozy residency to towering skyscraper across San Diego, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and other part of India. However, he love for Mother Earth led him to unique opportunity. Now he is part of the design team for groundbreaking knowledge center at Loka Foundation's World Village project. Hotly, we are welcoming both of our panelists. We will start our session from Dr. A.T. Kishore Garu. Thank you.
Thank you, Niharika. Thanks to KhetiValah, and welcome you all, the panelists of the day and the distinguished guests. Today is Shivaratri and also World's International Day of the Woman. So let's get started with this 11th episode. This is our logo and the KhetiValah brand of Haldari Technologies. As Niharika mentioned, the founder is K. Lakshman, and with his vision, we are doing these activities. Like one of the activities is dialogue. Next slide, please. So we conduct programs like dialogue. We also conduct other events, which we will elaborate in other slides. So we connect with individuals whom we call the kind of a niveshak, one who takes care of the welfare of farmers by giving some money. As you know, farmers are under stress. So we do this kind of philanthropy through these niveshaks. Next slide, please. We conduct many things, not just dialogues and, as I said, connecting with the philanthropists. We run a magazine and we meet intellectuals like at a university level and industry, and we do research in various aspects. We are also in the pipeline program of conducting a massive summit and a Purashkar event and also a global conclave. Anusandhan is kind of a process of connecting with individuals where we might do some MOU going forward, for example, with organizations like Loka Foundation, Ekam, like that. Keti Kalyan is welfare of farmers. As I mentioned, Niveshaks give money and we will identify the right eligible farmers for taking the initiative of, if they have a good intent, they can do farming. If not in their own land, on the land of someone else also, we will train them to do so by giving the inputs to them. Okay, next slide. Dialogues we have been doing, and good news is yesterday we launched Telugu dialogue as well, and we have very good stream of panelists and dialogue moderators in Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Tamil, Kannada, and also international languages such as Russian, Vietnamese, and going forward, Korean and other languages too. So next slide. I'm passionate about social activities besides my technical background of being a aeronautical engineer efforts, and also with the telecommunications with Alcatel-Lucent. I'm happy to be part of a team of authors who have written the standard for agricultural drone, which is now maintained by Manak Database of Bureau of Indian Standards. So Keti Kendra is like a knowledge center. There is a synergy between our thought process and Lokaa. You will find it when they talk about knowledge centers, where we disseminate information and provide market access to the farmers and connect them with various governmental bodies for them to the ease of doing business. Magazine, this is a very innovative idea. K. Lakshmanji is very passionate about magazine and he goes through every line of it. And Ikigai that is written here is a Japanese word. And we have already developed bi-monthly and then moving on to the monthly magazine in English to begin with. And also we will move to regional languages and international languages too. And these will be repositories maintained in the libraries across the world, especially agriculture universities and other research centers. YouTube channel as all these 11 today onwards that these 11 dialogues will be available to you, and then as we move forward the summits and conclaves that happen, they all will be available to you to see. And in fact there is a dedicated KV dialogue website also created. You will look at that later. Katie Corner is where a market access is given, where farmers will get a fair price. As you know, there is always a desire from the farmers to get a minimum viable price for them. The MSP is widely discussed, and we would like to help in this manner. Kosha is a concept of a land bank, where if someone who lives right now in UK, Canada, or America, or elsewhere, Australia, New Zealand, originally from India, for instance, we will take care of their land to make sure that it is cultivable and it's maintained at a optimal level of its fertility to to produce, and also we help them to produce the field and rather than keeping it idle, and share the profit with the stakeholders. We are very, very fortunate that during the course of few dialogues, we met people like Dr. S. Kiran Kumar and Professor Vivekananda, then Dr. Onkar, and many others from Atal Innovation Mission and IFCO, and many research organizations. There's a dean of a Nashik based organization, and one of the recent dialogues we have had, we have their photos here. And some of them have patents on their best practices, and we'll connect them with you if you need. So now we are very much happy to talk about our new things that we are going to launch. That is different language sessions. Next slide. Like, Telugu, Hindi, Kannada, Marathi, Tamil. But we don't just restrict it to Indian, but we'll go out. We do in Japanese, Korean, and Filipino, and other languages. We have a website for this dialogue that's already operational. Pure Agri Talks, we have a WhatsApp community where we are very much particular about avoiding good morning, good evening that we can do in other WhatsApps, but here it is purely on agriculture as our life and only talk about agriculture. This is how we are developing, and very happy to now to hand over this to presenters. The first presenter today, this evening, will be speaking on holistic sustainability, Chaitanya Reddy from Lokaa Foundation. As a matter of fact, some of us in this the dialogue session, as Captain Vinayak and myself, we visited them. It's must-see places on the planet Earth, not far away from Bangalore city. It is in near to Sri Kalahasti. The Loka Foundation has created wonderful ambience of global villages, and you will hear more about it from the horse's mouth. And next, after that, we will have Yogi. So basically, both of them, as Niharika mentioned, they are from the Loka Foundation. And first speaker is already doing a software development besides this foundation, and second speaker is completely full-time volunteer with this foundation. Yeah, I think the first speaker would be Chaitanya. Next would be Yogesh. Photograph of Chaitanya on the second right. Yeah. Next, please. And all of you keep your questions ready and let us have an interactive session. It would be typically for 1 more hour from now. So giving 30 minutes to each speaker typically, but they can spend, one of the speakers may spend more time than the other because both of them represent same organization. They know what they're doing. So it's back to you, wonderful team of panelists of the evening.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So I and Yogesh would be parallelly talking over the meeting. So Yogesh, can you please share the screen? He'll be taking care of the first part, and then we would parallelly talk about our works over here and our innovations in agriculture and how we are doing it holistically.
So as Kishore and Niharika had mentioned, both of us are volunteers at Lokaa Foundation. The vision of Lokaa Foundation is very unique. Um, their approach is a bit different from what we usually are used to hearing. It is inside out. So we focus on the individuals first and then work on the external things that the individuals need, which we call, our founder calls human being first and infrastructure next. So our vision is to create, or rather transform, the underprivileged communities into self-sustaining ecosystems. By that we mean sustainability, or the approach of sustainability, is holistic. It's not just limited to what they do or how they do. It starts from their way of living and it extends to their livelihood and all aspects of their life, in which one aspect is growing their own food, and about which is what Chaitanya will be explaining to us shortly. And after which I'll be talking a bit more about the World Village project and what we do, and other rural development initiatives, and how we contribute to the nature conservation, and how we work on the individuals, so that that enables the villages to focus on all three other aspects of the foundation. And these are some of the impact metrics. And now Chaitanya, I'll take it from here.
So hi everyone.
Thank
Thank you, Yogesh. So in this side of in this part of India, everyone at least once a day we touch paddy in our food, and it is so commonly utilized food. But paddy actually takes 3,000 liters of water to give us 1 kg of rice. It is like during this times of drought which is being hit, and as well as the water levels which are being reduced, and for the agriculture, this is a lot because paddy takes a lot of water. So we, along with I work with a company called TRST01 and CCX Core Carbonex, where we were in collaboration with Professor Jayashankar University from Hyderabad, where we learned about the pipe installation techniques, which can reduce the utilization of water by 20% and increase the yield by 15 to 20% more. What we do is, if at all we see some water on the surface of the paddy field, we think that the water is there is excess of water. That's it. But what goes under that is there's a lot of water inside the ground level, so that the roots can't take it, and that there's a reserve on the topmost layer. Because of lot of water being used, there is a methane emission being caused, which is directly proportional to global warming. And whatever chemicals we are using, they're actually you know it's being evaporated, and then whenever you go to a field, you feel that heat. There's a lot of heat in the fields. So what we are doing is we are installing these pipes, which are like 1 feet pipes. Can you go to the next slide, Yogesh? Which would be like 1 feet. In that half feet, we would drill the holes like this, and then we dig it into the dig it into the surface of the earth, so that we can know what is actually, we'll remove the soil from it so that we can see the water levels in the fields. By this, reducing the utilization of excess of water in paddy. And we have tested them in a few fields as well nearby. As even Teluganga has been, the water has been reduced a lot drastically. This has helped us in increasing the like optimal utilization of the water. This is one part of our initiatives in the villages. And the next is we have started the kitchen gardens, which it should start from us. So we are growing it without the use of like the synthetic fertilizers and the pesticides. We are utilizing neem water. We are treating the soil well, and then what we are doing is we're using the local ash, which is being created after the after the food waste and all, and we are creating our own compost pits, and we have started it as a habit for every kid there, because we have started a bank there in which even they grow the vegetables, they sell the vegetables, and they save it. So kids have started a bank there where we have created a circular economy there. By if someone wants some amount, they go to the local vendors and they take it at high rate of interest. So what kids are doing is they're growing their own garden, selling the vegetables, and then saving the money. So we are teaching the kids how we can like grow the vegetables there locally. How what are the best techniques to grow? We have started even soilless agriculture there, where we are growing it with the help of vertical farming, where kids are very enthusiastically learning them. And these are some of the initiatives which we are doing. This is how we start our day. Kids actually come and help us in everyone. It is the kitchen garden is not to one person or something. Everyone in the village come together. We work on it, and then we segregate the wet waste and dry waste and everything. And how holistically sustainable we are is there are almost 400 people in the village who own almost 25 to 28 acres of land, and everyone here are not utilizing the agricultural fields here, because the pain point is the the cost of labor has been increased. So what they are doing is some of them are going as a daily wage laborers, and they're not cultivating anything on their lands. Only a few people have been cultivating. For that, if at all the person who is cultivating the land is doing his work, is cultivating, and the others on the other sides they are not cultivating, the person who is using the pesticides or fertilizers has to increase his dosage, because there are a lot of pests and other things on the other side of the land which are coming back to this and spoiling the crop. For this, we have come up with an initiative to go with the drones, where everyone in the village will be saving some amount, and then come together. They would be utilizing the drones, and they'll be purchasing it all together. And this is how we have come up with an initiative where entire land land usage can be done for cultivation. These are a few points which we have seen the pain points, and we thought of addressing them. We are also our main aim is to work on the traceability and give the value to the farmer as well. And I'll tell you mostly what we do about in my recent years of work. I've been working closely with the climate tech, where most of the initiatives are with the traceability, organic cotton traceability. We have worked on traceabilities where GI there has been the tandoor dal has been given the GI tag, where we have seen what they do locally. We have been integrating technology at every point possible. We have done traceability for the eggs. We have done traceability for honey. We have done traceability for silk as well. So how it starts is we take the inputs right from the land preparation, and then how we treat the seeds, and how we go ahead in transplanting them, and then the water regime on the field, how much water we are utilizing, and the frequency of fertilizers and pesticides being used, and if at all there is some problem for the plant, we even jot it down. We integrate it with technology. We see what is the problem and all. We use IoTs there as well. And then when it comes to the harvest time as well, we calculate the harvest levels. We even calculate what amount of water being used, and what quantity of fertilizer being used. This is how we brought technology in, go hand in hand with the agriculture. So traceability can be used in many ways. If at all you have been using Swiggy or Instamart, you can see some of the vegetables being sourced by nearby areas. They would say you're getting it right by 5 a.m. You're getting this food. You're getting it from Godavari Basin, or you're getting it from some other place. This this can be done with the help of traceability. Even the food used wastage has been increased. To reduce that, we integrate this technology. We go ahead with the warehouses. See, right now, if a person is not well, and if that person is doing something, it can't sustain for a lot of time. So we are trying to increase the strength of the soil as well, by going back to the old technologies, by treating them with neem, as well as to treat the water pH level. The pH levels of water have gone high. If at all we use neem well, what we are doing is we are calibrating the pH levels of the water as well. So in this way, what we want to do is to integrate the organic farmers, or else like the sustainable farmers, to the markets, like the Keti Kendras, which Kishore ji has mentioned, where what we do is we trace each product. We go ahead with every step of implementation. We integrate technology there, that what have been used, what has not been used, and then from the date of harvest till the reaching the person, if at all the soil health is great, even the vegetables which we get, the yield would be great. So it can sustain for few more days as well, which can the shelf life would be more as well. That is what we are concentrating on right now. We started with village gardens because once we started with ourselves, it would create that love for them to create it on a bigger scale. This is one way we are pushing agriculture into our lives. Like, it is not just someone doing farming there. It is part of our lives. And can you go to the next slide, Yogesh? And this is this efficient management of organic supply chain and implementing traceability. We want to ensure this. See, the person whom you're seeing there is a teacher. He's working on the open lands, and he's teaching the kids as well. And he helps the kids in growing the vegetables, and they sell them as well. And Yogesh, can you go ahead? How we integrate, how our approaches would be helping the farmers as well in the next slides.
Yes. So World Village is one of the project that we mainly focus on, and we have 6 world villages. Yeah, I think you have a question, Shaitanya. Would you
Yes, yes.
take the question instead?
Yeah, Pradeep has a question. Probably we can take up now, or else it's up to you. There's no problem. Now also you can address the question.
Yes. Hi, Pradeep. Your question is, how can we improve paddy cultivation to achieve higher crop yield and lesser water? Yes. Pradeep, right now, if you see plant grow, if you water it a lot, it can't develop a new set of roots from the normal roots. So if you give it some time, what happens is, this has been already. Okay?
Yeah, others not in the question answer. Please kindly go on mute.
Yes, Pradeep. So Right now, if at all there is a lot of water in the field every time, what happens is it can't grow its extra roots, which would reduce its strength. That's the reason after growing to certain height, the paddy field falls down. If at all we use this technique of alternating wetting and drying techniques, what happens is it creates the extra roots and it gives extra strength to that particular paddy plant. And it increases the yield. This has been tested, and after this meeting, I can you can actually I'll share you a few metrics as well. You can call me personally and you can text me personally so that I'll help you more with that. Even a lot of water will reduce the yield. This is not good, which is not good.
Thank you, Chaitanya. Actually, Pradeep is a scientist of DRDO and currently he works with Collins Aerospace. Welcome, Pradeep, and continue.
Yeah. Thank you, Chaitanya. Actually, I'm traveling, so I can't, your presentation I'm not that much hearing, but I can able to see your pics and all the details what you are explaining. Few things. I'm traveling, so
Oh,
yeah, it was a wonderful and good presentation, Chaitanya. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So here we adopt tribal communities and transform them into sustainable villages, and we have adopted 6 villages until now. Santoshpuram has been the very first village that was transformed back in 2018, and we now created it on 2019. And the recent village that we are working on is Krishnapuram, and the latest village where we have just started our work is Anilpuram. So you can see that the villagers from these villages do not limit their idea of sustainability just to one aspect of their life, which is farming. It also extends to everyday products that they use right from the beginning of the day with their tooth powder, which they make it on their own with the ingredients that they find around. Like some of the ingredients are cow dung ash, clove, guava leaves, guava bark. So they make their own tooth powder, and they make their own uh, plates, which is made out of vistarakalu, which is again a native, yeah, that's the vistarakalu, as an
Java.
alternative for the plastic plates to reduce the one-time use plastic consumption. And again, they also make their own shampoos with soap nuts, which can be used as shampoo, as face wash, as body wash. And they also make their own face packs, which is made out of multani mitti. And they also, one of the villager who has the wisdom of the ancient herbs makes a herbal kashayam, which we call it in Telugu, the herbal liquid, which boosts our immunity. And they do not just limit consumption of these products just to themselves, but they also want to spread this to others. So they have started a business with these products that they came up with, which they call prakriti, which means nature. And now they have clients in Chennai, in Bangalore, in and around Tada. And we also help with the marketing of these products in other cities, so that this idea of sustainability quickly spreads to other parts of the India and other villages, so that they can also embody the spirit. So each village will have a knowledge center, which is a place where the transfer of knowledge happens. We have urbanites coming to the village, and they share their background, their skills to the villagers, and then they also learn from the villagers way of living, about sustainability. So because this is a place where the transfer of knowledge happens, we call it Jnana Vihar, which translates to knowledge center. And this being a structure, it should also embody the spirit of Loka Foundation, the vision of Lokaa Foundation, right? So the construction of this knowledge center will be made out of completely sustainable materials. So it will be made out of CSEB block, which stands for compressed earth stabilized block. I'll be talking more about it shortly. And all the materials that has been used in this construction is locally available, which means that there is no burning of fossil fuels in the process of transporting them from Chennai or Bangalore or some other part of the world. So these are the alternative materials. So instead of conventional bricks, which we use a massive amount of fossil fuel to burn it and make it ready, instead we train the villagers to make their own blocks, which is called compressed earth stabilized block, which uses only 6% of cement in terms of the ratio, and they use soil, sand, all of the materials which are right from the village, and they sun dry it, meaning that they just bake it in the sun using the sun's heat. So no fossil fuel is burnt in the process of making these bricks. And instead of cement, we use lime, which is again eco-friendly material, which is again sourced only from few kilometers away. And lime has its own pros and cons. So cement, the 70% of cement is actually made up of lime, but it is burnt completely, which emits a lot of fossil fuel. So by using the raw material lime, we are skipping the 70% um, of fossil fuels burnt in the process of making the cement. Yeah, I think someone is on mute. Yes. So instead of the steel trusses, we use teakwood material, which is again locally available, bamboo strips, and also the laterite rock, which is abundantly available local material over there. Not just limiting in terms of the materials that we use, but even in terms of the way we design the building by using something called passive cooling method, meaning that the windows of the building is oriented towards the predominant wind direction. So the nature of the wind is that the hot air always goes up and the cold air always stays down. By placing and designing the building in such a way that it traps all the incoming air from the south direction, and as it warms up, it travels above, and then on the other side of the building you can see there is a vent, and then it moves out of the building. This is called passive cooling technique, so that the reliance on active cooling, which is using an air conditioner by again using electricity, we reduce the consumption of the resources. So if a farmer's idea of sustainability is also holistic, the way he would cultivate his lands will be very different. So it won't be just limited to using organic pesticides just in his farms. Let's say even if he were to construct his warehouse, he would again can use all the sustainable materials to construct it, so that it's just not limited to one aspect of their lifestyle. So Anilpuram is again the latest village that we have adopted. So here, so up until now, all the 5 villages that we have worked with has been a blend of conventional way of building and the sustainable way of building. But this particular village is being designed by one of the famous sustainable architects in India called Harsha from IGH. So he is designing this entire village using just the sustainable local materials, and right from all the systems, be it the drainage system, the water system, the electricity, all the systems are going to be completely sustainable.
And the green patches over there are the gardens which entire villages would come together and grow their own food.
And here are some of our other initiatives. So every homes we construct in the villages uses the CSEB blocks that are made by the villages, and then the laterite blocks which are made out of laterite rocks, And we also make a guest home made out of laterite rock in every single village, so that any volunteer or a guest or a donor comes to the village, they can spend their weekend there, and they get to experience the life of the villagers, experience how a sustainable way of living is. And even the roads which are in the villages are made by laterite particles, which are again a redundant material that's available while we deepen the lakes. So while we deepen the lakes in the villages, these laterite particles are a byproduct of it, and then we use the same particles to lay the roads. Again, these roads are made by the villagers. So anything that we do in the process of us making, we also equip the villagers with those skills. And when the government had sanctioned a cement road for the villagers were conscious enough to say no for the cement roads, because they realized that it's harmful for Mother Earth. That's how connected the villages are. And even in terms of the paints that they use, they go to the mountains, they collect their own red soil, they make their own paints, and then they paint their houses, because they do not again wanna, they want to change every single aspect of their life if there is a sustainable alternative. And other initiative that we do is the nature conservation. So to really, all for the initiatives that we have been doing to actually work, the villages must know why they are doing it. Only then it will work, and we make that happen by through storytelling. So we go with the villagers on a nature walk into the mountains. As we go, we spend time in the mountains, in the nature, and the elder of the village would share his knowledge about the herbs and everything. And our interconnectedness with the nature, how we are all interconnected, how all of our actions have a ripple effect on us. What is good for Mother Earth is good for our body, and what is harmful for Mother Earth is also harmful for our body. And when villagers understand this, it's much more easier for them to take every action that is sustainable, so that we do not enforce anything on them, but rather it is their choice to take the action, whether be it to use an organic pesticide or to any sustainable initiative for that matter. And this is again possible because our approach is working on the individual and really helping them to connect with themselves. Only a person who is happy and connected with themselves can also connect with others and also connect with Mother Earth. And only when there is a connection with themselves and Mother Earth, all of their actions are very natural. So we have programs, like the walk, where the urbanites can come experience what the villagers are doing. Or we have weekend village program, where the urbanites can come stay for a weekend and experience villagers way of sustainable living. We encourage schools and colleges to come visit and experience the kind of work that we are doing. We want more people to come fall in love with Mother Earth, and change even a small aspect of their lifestyle into a sustainable one, so that the impact that we bring compounds. We take this opportunity to also welcome everyone for the walk, which is on 13th and 14th, where which is when I got to meet Kishore and Vinayak ji and everyone. That's how we got to know. That's when they also fell in love with the kind of that we are doing, and they wanted us to talk about what we are doing in the KV dialogues. So we welcome you all for the walk. We'll be happy to take questions now.
Thank you very much, both distinguished panelists, Chaitanya and Yogesh. And if there are any questions, I encourage our attendees to kindly unmute and directly ask as well if you don't want to type. We have 10 minutes for this activity, question answers. I just want to add a few words of complimenting the presenters. This they were very focused on the mandate given to them to stick to agriculture and life of a farmer. They did so, and anything beyond that is individual's interest. As for example, joining the walk on 13th, 14th April. Anyone interested, get in touch with us. We'll connect you with them, and it is in line with the philosophy of KhetiValah as well. And whatever the farmers are able to produce, it's an inspiration to other farmers as well. In fact, there is no patent right now from their product, so other villages can pick up, and then this can be a scaling momentum for the Indian farmers, so that they make money and they can adopt these best practices.
In fact, we are in talk with Lakshmanji regarding how to display our Prakriti products that the villagers make in one of their initiatives, which is called KT Corner, right, Kishoreji?
Yeah, right.
So there are some products called indigenously made by them. This is Bringraj. It is made from Guntagalagaratu, which will help. Once you mix this with the coconut oil and then use it, it reduce it reduces the heat in our body, as well as it helps in generating the strong black hair for us as well. So we have some products like this. We have their own multani mitti sourced by in their own villages, like in the mountains and all. We have their own soap nut powder, and then we have the hibiscus powder as well. And the most important thing is the leaf plates. Every person in the village has their own like this is a creeper, so they have this at their houses and they source it from their place. And they're creating a lot of zero mile as well, like zero food mile. And this is one of the initiatives which made me come to Loka Foundation as well. Once I think everyone should make a visit. Like there is a change in a perspective as well once you spend some time with them.
That is true, Chaitanya. In fact, any city wherever you are, the attendees, if you step out of the city 50 miles away, you will find the real rural India, and they have their own challenges. Being a urbanite, you can give your knowledge. In turn, you can also receive from the villages how they are living, and it's a good win-win to all of us. And that's how objectives of sustainability can be achieved, including for the farmers' objective of being able to cultivate and make good sense out of their means. Like most of the farmers face the challenge of they spend more, and then they buy in discrete or retail market, but they have to sell it in bulk, which is like a win-lose. The buyer is winning and the farmer is losing currently. So I think with this local empowering them at local level, village level, helps them to offset those challenges. Also, can one of the speakers highlight some of the challenges farmers have in their agricultural activities? For example, harvesting, preserving such activities. It will be interest for those who are doing research in agriculture.
I think the utilization of drones would be of great value, because as the labor rates have been increased, the labor costs have been increased. A normal person who owns a farm is not able to afford it, and and is not utilizing the land there. I think we have to integrate more people, bring in the common utilization of drones as well. We have to bring a platform where farmers can utilize the drones commonly. Right now, it's been used only in a few places of Hyderabad, nearby places, where they are renting out the drones and doing it. I think we have to bring in a platform where we can integrate both of them, the technology as well as the farmers.
Yeah, I think government of India has come up with schemes to encourage women in the village to maintain the drones, and for which government funds. Also, IFCO like factories are coming forward to train the people on the drone. In Tamil Nadu, the Rural Development and Panchayat Raj has funded the training cost of the village people for a drone cost, which would be nearly like 50,000 rupees. And that will give them 10 years license to be able to operate the agriculture drone. And I mentioned about Bureau of Indian Standards, where we are developing the standards for Indian usage of the drones, UAVs. Yeah, it's a good initiative, as you said. There, we don't just need to use all the fertilizers or chemicals. We can use alternatives. Like yesterday, one of the dialogue panelists was mentioning you can spray some
Biochemicals.
sprouted things, and then we can use them very creatively to implant, seeding also. So the farmers have to hire manpower, as you said. Most of the village youth now they have greener pastures. They come to the city in search of jobs, and we don't have manpower to do their regular harvesting and seed level also. That those tasks also can be done with the drones. We need to, of course, design the payload accordingly. So the
Hmm.
drone industry is evolving, and so we can talk about drones in any other meeting as well, because I'm director for a drone pilot academy in Bangalore.
And one more point is, mm, once we go to the ground and listen to the farmers, it is then we can make a change. We have to spend some more time on the ground with the farmers, listen to them, because all of a sudden, there. I think we had some good businessmen during our 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s. That's the reason they have started using these chemical fertilizers, this and all. They thought has been increasing every day. But the thing is, we have killed our soil. So we have to go on ground, tell them that I understand they use the DAP, this and all, 20, 40, 30 and all, which kill our soil. We have to go to them, show them what it works. We have to create more conferences on the ground with them. Even that will help us.
Yeah. As of yesterday, KhetiValah conducted a interesting dialogue one in Telugu, where the presenter CVR Chintala Venkat Reddy. His concept is, in essence, I'm just summarizing. You draw a straight line in one of the four corners of your cultivable land, and dig deep into that, like a few meters, and take that sand out, and then pour it on the surface, so that which is near to the wet soil underneath, below a few inches, that is rich of nutrients and life. And that he has tested it on various crops. Gives an example that the sugar cane has grown to 20 feet just without using any chemical. Just take out that soil and then spread it over the area of your interest. That's simple thing every farmer can do. And further to that, after doing studies of the nutritional lab experiments, he would suggest what needs to be done further, because every agriculture field has its own problem, just like homeopathy or a medical problem. He would, with his experience, he will suggest, and we would, from KhetiValah, we would connect. He got Padma Shri award, so we can say honorary, like a Doctor Chintala Venkat Reddy. We will connect him with your foundation, and you can take your global villages to the next level.
We are also trying this Subhash Palekar 9 by 9, 36 by 36 one. Not a 36 by 36 in one place, but 9 by 9 in some places. We are creating some pockets of forests in the villages as well, and pockets of the vegetable gardens as well. As you have seen in Anilpuram, we are going to do it. I think integrating agriculture in every part of our life, like it's not a farmer's thing; it is part of everyone right now. We're going to food shortage soon. I think your dialogue would really help people.
Yeah, Yogesh, you have any other comments? Summary? Can you summarize in another 3 4 minutes?
Our long-term vision is to Kishore to provide a blueprint of the world villages and provide it to other villages in India and work with the government so that this idea of holistic sustainability, where things are not just about agriculture and farming, but also expands to other aspects to be widely spread. In fact, we are getting a lot of responses also from other countries like Brazil, Europe, Australia, where we have enthusiasts approaching us and asking us how we can do the same for their countries, but not with the same exact same way we are doing it, because the context really matters. What is sustainable here may not necessarily be sustainable in other part of India or other part of the world. Let's say we are bringing the very same laterite rock all the way to Chennai and building a home there. It could be a eco-friendly material, but it is not sustainable.
Yeah, you are very right. The carbon footprint of transportation cost is a valid point. And before we conclude, as a token of gesture of appreciation from KhetiValah, this natural product is for you. And when we meet you in person, we'll give you one each. And we would like to give you a certificate and token of appreciation when we conduct events. We also conduct face-to-face meetings. We did so in, for example, Davangere University of Agricultural Sciences, and we would look forward to more meetings. Overall, I consider it's a very nice program. We everyone took adequate precautions to respect the time of all the attendees. Now it is 7:30. It's a 1 hour program, and we are very punctual. Thanks very much for covering holistic aspect of sustainability, not just agriculture. And speakers have gone beyond, which is also relevant for the life. A farmer is not just a machine; he's a human being. And if you take care of farmers' overall well-being, I think they will do the agriculture also well. With these words, if there are not many questions, Niharika, you could conclude. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, all the panelists and attendees. We can wait for a
Thank you
couple
so
of
much,
minutes.
Kishore.
Yeah, we can wait just for a couple of minutes for anyone to reflect on it, because we are on good time now. Any attendees, you feel free. Achal, Avinash, Darshan, Mariam, Mike, Neeta. Unmute Pavan, NR, Sharat, Vijayan, Anil.
There are
Then,
other volunteers I see in the participants in
oh,
case
great.
someone wants to share something.
Yeah. Please feel free and talk. We have time. We can even spend 10 more minutes if you wish. Chaitanya, do you have any other final remarks about the context of holistic sustainability?
I'm looking forward to the KhetiValah, the next events as well as your initiatives, because they're
Thank
aligning a lot with our thoughts, and the way you're going to start the stores in the cities and many other places, as Lakshmanji told, all in all the 7,000 mandals we have in India. I think we can implement this sustainability in every way we do it, even in the construction and setting up a shop,
you.
and how you people are integrating with the technology. I think, yeah, we can collaborate on it. Yes.
Yeah, that will give market access to villagers. Right now,
Yeah.
their product is in their own village, and
Yeah.
this is a good opportunity to bring them to the wider audience. Just nice. And any other questions from any other attendees? Niharika, do you have any question?
No, so actually, it's very nice. What they provided the information, it's very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably we can
Sir,
conclude.
I just want to have,
Yeah,
I have just small idea. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, Papa.
just want
Yeah.
to know what are the crops they in agriculture, what are they cultivating and what are they growing right now?
Right now, the villages are growing paddy as well as the ragi here, and groundnuts. Like the crop we use, like a rotational crop is groundnuts here to increase the nitrogen levels in the soil. We use groundnuts, and the ragi is there because it uses less water. Because and then the paddy is always there.
Okay. Just I want just now I watched something like Narendra Modi, our PM sir, telling everyone to grow millets more.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So I just
Yeah,
want
they
to
consume
what
less
are the
water.
their
Yes,
Yes.
last year was
this evolution
International
is
Year
going
of
on.
the Millets.
Yeah.
True.
Mm.
And India was a key member to influence that decision by United Nations and International Year of Millets. Yes, and they have high fiber content and low calories and rich in proteins. But if you know the various millets like foxtail or different millets, like already in villages ragi and jowar they are used, but we can look into other aspects also the millets. True. And government has now initiatives. I think in subsequent dialogues we talk of them, like Kusum. Our latest magazine has articles on them. Kusum 3 and government funds for agriculture. Um, Probably another dialogue event can focus. Solarizing agriculture is another. Yesterday we were in Surya conference by EQ Mag. Some discussions happened relating to that. I also heard, I think Lokaa Foundation is keen on solar panels in the villages
Yes.
during our visit. We learned this. So overall, nice. Thank you very much on this auspicious Shivaratri Day and also International Day of Women. We will conclude, Niharika. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kishore.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, Chaitanya. We have a message from, yes, yeah, thank you. We are getting appreciation from Anchal, Pawan and all. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you all attendees for sparing time on this day and wonderful panelists. Thank you, Niharika and KhetiValah. Thank you, Papa.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.